Good afternoon, everyone. Today, digital experience required to create multiple accounts in multiple applications. And sometimes we use social login, like login with Google, login with Facebook, login with Twitter. And sometimes we forget which account did we use to log into any of the applications. Today, I'm going to speak how a developer like you can implement a no password solution in your application. I mean, no password in Password Manager, a true passwordless solution which is powered by Affinidi applications, Affinidi products basically. Affinidi products are powered by AWS. We rely on AWS for all our infrastructure, all our scalability, reliability. For the security, we rely on AWS. I am lead solution architect at Affinidi, and with me, I have a pleasure of having Roopesh as a CTO, co-founder of Gro Club, and how Affinidi helped them onboard their applications with these new ways of doing familiar things. And the session which we have is passwordless onboarding with zero-party data. So first, we understand what is zero-party data. It is a kind of data which you willingly share with a brand or a businesses. It can be obtained by your form fill-up, normal surveys, or you willingly shared with the brand on some website or any other things. Whereas there are different type of data already exist. There is a first-party data, which a brand or businesses acquire from the behavior of you on their application, or their website, or their social media handles. So from there, they create a profile of you on their system. Similarly, there are second-party data, which is similar to a first-party data, but the data is collected by the different organization, and this organization entered in a business relationship who holds the first-party data. Third-party data is a kind of data which is already available on the internet, and that can be used readily across for all the marketing activities. So from there, we just see what is onboarding, what is the friction there. You have already seen this, like when you entered in any application, you've been asked to enter email, you asked to enter password, you asked to enter phone numbers. And subsequently, you've been asked to share detail like name, your state, city, code, date of birth, your preferences, and etc., etc. As per brand, there are 55% of brands says 1 out of 3 registrations are left incomplete. Why that happens? Because sometimes user is, don't want to give any data where they don't know what kind of service they're gonna get on this application. Second, they are tired of giving the details again and again. So what is the benefit of this sharing data to a business? Businesses want this data to give you a personalized experience on their website. They wanted to give more experience which is catered to your need, not just like all the exposure to their products. So in that case, they wanted to create a profile of you, a digital profile for you on their application. They wanted to create an identity of you. When we say identity, what do you mean by identity and how it is relevant in the physical world? So you already have identity document like Aadhaar card, PAN card, driving license, passport, and you already keep it in your wallet. And as and when required, you share with the end user and you avail the service. You see, in this, there are two things happen. The ID which is there, it is in control with you. And the trust is already established with the end user. Why this is trust has happened? Because the identity what you have is issued by a trusted issuer. And the document is a trusted document. So what happens in digital world? Is this your digital identity? I would say no. Is this your digital identity plus email plus name details and other? Is your digital identity? I would say no. Then what is exactly the digital identity? Digital identity let you be you in the system, in the digital world. It consists of thousands of parameters like your preferences, your shopping preference, your gaming preference, your food preferences, or anything that you have in your internet world. So these all parameter comprise of your digital identity. With a research in IDC, what we have found that any privacy and security are two different factors that stops consumer from signing up on or registering on any of the applications, because they don't understand what kind of service that application gonna give. And with the evolution, with the old traditional system, where all the applications have their own identity details, like when you log into any system, you put your username and password, and you transact with that application, and that application will give you all the details, like what you have transacted on that platform, and that's stored with that application. The data is in silos. And with the evaluation, right, they move from a centralized system to a federated system, like where you have a Google or a Facebook or Twitter, which holds your identity details there. In both the scenarios, you see the trust is with the intermediary or the third party or the service identity provider. And the control is data is not with you. You choose to trust the third party system. Because of this data which you have in internet today is not either controlled of you. It is fragmented across different systems. And it gives you a misrepresentation of your profile in your digital identity. And sometimes it's like I said, it's a third-party data which is easily available. Your data is not private at all. It can be used by any other marketing companies for your marketing scenarios. So what next? How do I protect my digital identity, and how do I get my same identity wallet that we have used in your physical world? With changing internet, there is a paradigm shift in the identity archetype, and that is something we call decentralized identity. Decentralized identity comes with a 3H on centralized and federated system. That is, this identity is interoperable, this identity is verifiable. It is privacy by design. This is designed with a privacy and security at the core. And third and most important, your data is shared based upon your consent. So what is data is required, and what data you shared to the end system is based upon your consent. So this identity system has, this decentralized identity system has the various key enablers that we have. That is portable, digital portable data, digital portable, portable trusted data, and the identity along with a trust sharing. So you all share the data in a portable way, and it can be verified anywhere, anytime. The first one of the key enabler is a decentralized identity. Decentralized identity, when I say, is something, a unique reference on the internet about you. That gives, it can be any entity, it can be any organization, it can be anything in the internet. And just like you search in your Google, when you do a search with a DID, it gives you result with a DID documents. Second is a verifiable credential. Verifiable credential is a cryptographically signed JSON document from your key pair, which is issued to a holder from an issuer. And a verifier can always verify those details which is available in the verifiable credential with the cryptographic keys. We already have seen this COVID certificate, right? But underlying tech, Government of India has already introduced verifiable credentials. So we all at least hold one verifiable credential in this world. So you are not new to this world, but you are not known to this system. The next thing is like we have a verifiable presentation, which is just a machine-readable way of having a multiple VCs in one place, and which is verified at any point of time from this. Next is a standard that is developed by an open DIF, which is a decentralized identifier, and OpenID provider, which is called OID for VP, which allows you to transact or gives the data in a way where it's a combination of multiple verifiable credentials and shared the data in a JSON LD format. And they use a particular format called PEX, which is presentation exchange, which helps you to get the details from the wallet and share it back to the end user, which is required to this. It's just like you understand PEX is a SQL query to verifiable credentials. Now you have seen that decentralized identity has given so much of thing, and it gives a new way to, a physical way for experience for a consumer as well as a developer. But how can we implement it? So introducing holistic identity. Holistic identity gives you 360-degree feedback to your data which is there with you. It gives you a control of your own data. It allows the user to discover the data on the internet, collect the data, share the data, store the data, and eventually monetize the data. This is what we look like the holistic identity of a shopping user. How the user looks like. So you have some details on the Gmail. You have some preferences on the different networks where you do the shopping. And then you have, see the hundreds of parameters that includes what your preferences is like, what is the detail, what is the age, what is your color you like, what you share, what is the salary that you have spent and everything. So those things will come as an identity. This is one of the example. It can be extended to another things. To bring the view of holistic into life, we at Affinidi has created Affinidi Trust Network, which is nothing but a suite of product that we have developed, which is Affinidi Login, Affinidi Vault, Affinidi Connector, Affinidi Concierge, Affinidi Messaging, and Affinidi Elements. Affinidi Login is a one-click sign-in login setup for any of the solution. This is a true passwordless solution built on open standards. Affinidi Vault is a user-controlled storage which holds all the data for you, and it will give you a 360 view of yourself. Affinidi Connector is a way to ingest data in the Affinidi Vault. And next is when you have all the data involved, then you have Affinidi Concierge, which is a personalized AI for you, which can give a recommendation on top of your data, what you have in the system. The next is Affinidi Messaging. It is a secure way of communicating with one of the users to one of the consumer to another consumer. And the last but not the least, Affinidi Elements. Affinidi Elements is self-managed. It's like a managed solution for which does all the heavy lifting of all this tech, and you as a developer can leverage Affinidi Elements for all your use cases. And it is powered by AWS. Now we see, I just wanted to reiterate the same thing. The Affinidi Vault that we have, Affinidi Vault does not, it's not the Affinidi that holds the data. It's the user who holds the data. It's the user who defines where the data holds, and if you choose to put it in a cloud, then it's up to you. But as of now, it is always in the controlled mode, and you can always share the data based upon the consent. So whatever the data parameters that you have in the vault, if it is requested by someone, you can always say whether I want to share full data or half data or as of now. We have seen from the decentralized identity how we move from a system-centric system to a human-centric system. Earlier, the system was isolated in silos. Now it is all based upon you, where all the data is available. With this Affinidi products, what you have seen, the real-life example where you have a wallet, your wallet is now replaced with a digital wallet. And you have a digital identity which is already available. With the help of verifiable credential, we can always do the verification on a fly. And it's also like you can also do the interoperable thing where you share your data, and the other system can also understand the data in the same format. Like this seems to be very pretty easy, but behind the scenes there are a lot of issues that we have seen, and AWS helps solve all this issue. We have moved from monolithic to serverless technology, and we have using refactored spaces with a fixed serverless architecture, where we are using the Lambdas and the API gateway for our services. We use CDK Progen for our infrastructure as a code and a code development. And Affinidi has been chosen to showcase the architecture in the recently concluded Affinidi reInvented 2023, and our CTO, Adam Latta, was given an opportunity to present the Affinidi architecture there. You can scan this QR code and you can understand how exactly that architecture lives in today and how AWS helped greatly in doing that. I'll quickly show a demo how these products come to life, and you can see how with one click of application, your application is validated, and you are allowed with the data points. And once you share the consent, it will be automatically logged into your application. See how magical it is, how simple it is. And from there, I have a pleasure with me, like Roopesh is there with me, who is an early adopter of the product. And with this, I'll hand over to Roopesh to explain how Affinidi products help Roopesh and the company Grow Club with this product.
Thanks, Grajesh. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I hope everyone can hear me. I'd like to introduce Grow Club first so that you get a sense of what I'm saying. I'm sure there are lots of mothers, fathers, aunts and uncles in this audience. And all of you must have seen how your kids outgrow pretty much everything that they have. Whether it is toys, whether it is their bicycles, their clothes, their shoes, the sports equipment, absolutely everything that you buy, a kid will outgrow. And they will outgrow at a pace which is incredible. And this is something that we set out to solve with what we call or what we think is the world's first kids D2C ecosystem that is built on circular economy. Our vision is to disrupt the linear approach of consume and discard. If you look on the left, the linear approach, which basically relies on take, buy, consume, and then discard. It goes into landfills. A recent report told us that only about 8.6% of whatever we produce has some amount of circularity or regeneration built into them. So what we are trying to do is bring in this circular economy where each product produced by us is good for at least 5 customers, is good to be regenerated at least 5 times, put back into the market so people can use it over and over again. Now, all of you must be wondering that what does this have to do with a holistic identity management? What does this have to do with the Affinidi Trust Network? Now, when we look at a product that's meant for kids, when we collect data of parents of kids, the onus of safety of that data comes onto us. The onus of making sure that the data is safe and the person who's provided us with the data, they know exactly what they are providing, when it has been provided, are they able to control that? Is the data being used responsibly? Is it being stored responsibly? Is it being used responsibly? Is it being handled with care? The other onus that puts onto us is because of a subscription nature of our entire service, we don't have a single transaction relationship. Our relationship actually starts when the subscription starts and it lasts for the entire period, which in our case runs through years. We are in our 2nd year of our operation, and what we've been noticing is that people who keep coming back to us, they come back because there is an inherent trust that is built with us. And that makes the onus on us even more, it makes us even more responsible for the data that we hold and we use. So how did we work with Affinidi to come up with this? We, at the first stage, what we did was we introspected and really looked at the kind of responsibility that this data put on us. It was a question that we asked ourselves that, are we at a point where we can take on this responsibility? Or are there solutions out there that are designed for services like us, that have been built ground up, which gives the control back to our users, where they are in control of their data, they know what exactly they are sharing, they can control what they share now or even later, and still keep in touch. That was the cornerstone of our relationship. The second point that we bring up is, can we design systems? Can we build our CRM? Can we build our stack in such a manner that we don't really need to hold that data? We can use the data as and when we want. We can abstract it and then build cohorts, build indicators out of that data that keeps us in touch with our customers now, going forward, and building that relationship with subsequent subscriptions. And the third was, does it give a competitive edge? Will it help us grow in the market? So what we did is built our systems using the Affinity Trust Network. We built it on AWS. Again, like the Affinity Trust Network, our systems are also built on Lambda. They're completely serverless. And what this helped us do is not only be more responsible with the data, be a little more creative with how we gather, how we use the data, and also keep in touch with our customers in a manner that made it very easy for our customers to understand that what is going on with the data and how we are going to use it and how we are going to keep in touch with them and build a mutually beneficial relationship with them. And with that, what we've done is we've built a relationship that is based on trust, and in our endeavor to build a circular economy which is sustainable ecosystem, the whole thing has come together so beautifully that I'm very, very glad that we found a great partner in Affinity and bringing the whole thing together. Bring Grajesh on to conclude this. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Roopesh. Hello? Yeah, sorry. So I like to invite you all. With this accelerating innovation, you can come and join us, explore the technology and how it can give you a competitive business advantage on top of it. We already know that regulations are getting stricter day by day, and there will be a tipping point where you have to get out of your data and you have to, start holding your data. And that's where we wanted to be a forefront of that technology there. You can always leverage the open standards that we already used, and that is OID for VP, which is not only gives you the leverage for passwordless authentication, a sharing mechanism, a true decentralized identity management solution, and which can help you enhance your business experience with the users. This is, like I said, this is developed by privacy as a design, and it's beneficial to both customer and and your businesses. It's a friendly business altogether, I would say. And you can always build this system within 15 minutes of your time. You can have your digital experience immediately getting started. We have an amazing documentation in place where you can always go and check how do we integrate with a different identity provider or a different language or a different framework that you wanted to have. And you can visit at our documentation page. You can find so much references there. We have developer tools like developer portal and CLI, which help you to integrate with your system on a click of a go. We do in-person events, we do in-person webinars, we do Facebook Live events, and we also do some third-party events. So you always try to bring new details across in all the events together. So I encourage you to come and meet us every time. If you have any doubts, if you wanted to understand more of the Affinity products, and you wanted to understand more on the holistic identity, you can visit our booth. And if you have some ideas you wanted to circle with, you wanted to have a demo, you can always scan this QR code and fill out your details, and we'll be there to help you out. So we already have this, we already, you can put your details there, scanning the QR code, and we have a raffle at the end of the day, and you can have your JBL speaker and the Amazon voucher at the end of the day. We at Affinidi is trying to change. The only vision we have is a world where everyone can effortlessly and securely control, manage, and extract value from their data. We wanted to reclaim your identity. We wanted to reclaim yourself. We wanted to reclaim your data. Let's change the data ownership for good together. Thank you.